Welcome back to Kyle's Big Board, presented by the Straight Facts Podcast, the series where we count down the top prospects in the upcoming NBA draft and analyze their games. With the NBA draft just 1 week away from today, we here at Straight Facts are going to get you ready by counting down my top 7 prospects in the next 7 days. Coming in as my number 7 prospect in this year's draft, and the topic of today's video, Obi Toppin. Toppin is a power forward from Brooklyn, New York, who played 2 seasons of college ball at the University of Dayton. Let's break down his game. First, let's get into his strengths. The first strength has to be his slashing ability. Toppin's a very consistent finisher at the rim and attacks hard more often than not. He's always looking for dunks, leading the nation in that stat last year. His mix of length and explosiveness makes him a great pick-and-roll big man in this league, as he'll provide elite vertical spacing in the pick-and-roll game. The next strength is his NBA fit. Being an athletic 6'9" player will always find you a spot on an NBA roster, especially when you add in the 7'2" wingspan. But Toppin can also shoot the ball as well. He has a mid-range game and shot the 3 ball at 39% last year. This 3 game is going to translate to the next level as well, and the fact that he shot it at such a high percentage while having one of the largest usage rates in the league is very impressive and makes him a real threat in the NBA. The last strength is his maturity. Toppin's very mature and seems to be a team-oriented guy. He showed very good leadership at Dayton and figures to be an excellent NBA teammate. Now let's get into his weaknesses. The first weakness is defense. He's too heavy-footed on that side of the ball and doesn't have enough lateral quickness to be able to guard the wing position well. For that reason, he'll definitely be better off guarding the 4 position, and I see him struggling with some NBA guys down low. Last year, he mostly defended the 5 position at Dayton, but he only played 2 top 25 teams and mostly A-10 games. While you didn't see him struggle too much down there, when he did go up against bigger, more physical guys, Toppin really struggled. He needs to use his athleticism more on the defensive side of the ball to really be able to guard them at the NBA level. The next weakness, and probably the biggest knock on Obi Toppin, is his ceiling. Many people think Toppin's already very close to his ceiling, while other guys in this draft are blooming with potential. He seems to have cultivated a lot of his skills, so the next step for him doesn't look as high as some other guys. Add in the fact he's already 22 years old, and it's something to keep in mind when comparing him to the 18, 19, and 20-year-olds he's going to be drafted against. Now let's get into an NBA comparison, and I'm not going to lie, I don't like many. I've thought about like a John Collins, but I don't love that. But I'm going to go with like a smaller Amari Stoudemire. I like this comparison because they both have the same slashing ability and athleticism. They're both very prolific dunkers, and they're just overall scorers as players as well. But the altered part comes in because Amari's like a solidified big man, and I don't see Toppin as one. Amari was a very capable defender down low, and Toppin, to me, I've already talked about, I don't think he's going to be able to do that. So if you take out the defensive big man aspect of Amari's game and throw in a 3-point shot, you get something that looks like an Obi Toppin, and hey, that's a decent player. To conclude, Obi Toppin might have the highest floor in this entire draft, but also maybe the lowest ceiling. I see him making an impact right away in the league next year, but he might not get very far past that role player title. Obviously, since I have him at 7, I'm more on that thinking. While I think he's a great player and some teams I see him thriving on, I'm not sure I see him as much more than the 15 points per game guy at best. That being said, don't be surprised if he does go top 5. I think 2 of the best fits for him in the draft are the Warriors and Timberwolves, and I wouldn't draft him that high, but hey, it's draft night, anything can happen. But that's all for today's episode of Kyle's Big Board, presented by the Straight Facts Podcast. Let me know what you guys think of Obi Toppin in the comment section below, and don't forget to tune in next time when I break down the number 6 player on my big board. I hope everyone's staying safe, staying healthy, and of course, getting buckets. I'll see you guys next time.